welcome back to Airbrush Ways. If you remember, in the last episode we were masking out this rifle stock. You can see I've actually finished this now, both sides, inside there, so it's all ready now for spraying. And what I've been doing while it's took so long to get this done is I've been testing out a panel to see what kind of reaction I get from different colours of paint to get this wood effect on here. And I've also been testing out different colours, and I've written down at the side of each colour exactly what's gone into it and what ratio, so I know roughly what I'm going to be putting down on here. The next thing is I'm going to mix up some paint. This is rough idea of what I want. So this is sepia, burnt sienna and red. So that's the kind of colour that I'm going for, and it's now going to go down as a base coat over the whole of this rifle stock. Okay, so stay with us. Okay, so I'm going to put some very light lines in here, which are going to be like the grain of the wood. So I'm working off these reference photos, which gives me an idea of what I've got to kind of end up with. Okay, so the first thing is to just get some of this sepia, and all I'm going to do is make sure that the brush isn't too wet, and then I'm dipping it into the Createx Illustration Pure Sepia, and then from there I'm just making sure the brush isn't too wet. Okay, and that may look like a mess, but you'll see the difference when I start to put some colour on there. I'm just going to get you in a bit closer and let you have a look at how it's kind of got up to now. Okay, so this is the darker side, which is kind of showing up a bit better for you. But that's basically what I've done. I'm just going to bring you along there if I can without jumping. I've just added some dark, and I'll show you the other side. Okay, so this is the other side now, and you can see those lines, a lot of those will kind of fade into the background, but they're going to be the little bit of grain that we're going to see through this. And then as far as the cheek pad and the hand grip, which is there, that's the hand grip, and then the cheek pad is going to go up on the top, that's going to be black altogether. Okay, so we'll leave it that for a second, let this dry, and then I'll put some of the wood colour over the top of this and see how we go on. Okay, so I'm using the Devilbiss SRI Pro Lite. So it's a minigun, and I think it's a 0.8 or a 0.7, I'm not quite certain, needle nozzle. It's kind of just a step up from the water HP, you know, the one with the fan. So this has a fan on it, and I've got it connected up to my bigger compressor because that's going to give me more air. And we're just going to put a light coat on this now and see how it looks. Okay, so it gets a bit noisy. I'll probably just turn the sound down while I'm doing this. Okay, so I'm going to let that dry, and then I'll get back to you. Okay, so I'm just turning this and putting another coat so that I'm overlapping. I'm overlapping the coats, and I'm slowly turning that reddy brown colour from the green. So just keep bearing with me, and we'll get there. So we've turned it again. Okay, green to brown. This is just air now, I'm just blowing air and drying the thing off, letting it cure. Just like the airbrush, don't really want to lay on too many coats, just enough to give it that colour, and then, like I'm doing now, plenty of air. I can see the shine going off it, so I know that it's drying. That is going to be black eventually, so that's all I need to do on that. So I'm adding a little bit of red in here. What I want to do is kind of put this darker red colour over the top of the lighter colour that I've just put down as a base, but what I'm looking for is to follow the line of the grain, and where the grain is dark, I'm going to put the paint, the dark paint, over that. And I've just changed the nozzle slightly, dialed the fan pattern in, so instead of being a fan it's now kind of a lot smaller, almost like a circle, almost like an airbrush. Okay, we'll let that dry. So I'm just blowing air on it now, and then I'm going to let this dry, turn it over and do the other side, so bear with me. Okay, so we've put about maybe 4 coats of this on. They've had a little bit more sepia, which has darkened some of the areas up around where I painted with the fan brush. I'm just drying this off now. I'll turn it round and do the same on the other side. There is a fan going over at the window which is pushing air out, and that's normally what I do when I'm using this particular brush or this gun. I would normally put the fan on just to draw excess off. If I'm using the airbrush, I don't normally bother. Okay, so we'll turn that round. I'm only holding this by the masking tape at the top, so even with the gloves on, I'm kind of being fairly careful. Okay, so you'll see now where I darken this up. Okay, so that's it for now. You saw I used the Devilbiss mini micro spray gun, 0.8 of a needle, and I've got to the stage now where this is going to be left. I'm going to leave it to cure for a couple of days, and then the next thing is we get the airbrush out and we just start to put in a few finer details of the darker grain and stuff in there. I've actually saved the paint that was left in the cup of the spray gun. I've put it into a bottle, and that should save now until I come to use it the next time, and I'll just add a little bit of colour and we'll see how it goes from there. So that's where we're up to. I hope you've enjoyed it. Hope to see you next time. Please leave a comment if you want to see something, or you don't understand something that I'm doing, or just a thumbs up to say thanks very much. So that's it. I'm Jack, this is Airbrush Ways. We'll speak to you next time. Bye.